Hit that again. Man, what is going on, Cowboys Nation? What is going on, Stargate Affiliate? See in the building Wednesday. Yeah. Wednesday, 8 o'clock Central. Man, it's time for us to deliver y'all the Cowboys Report. Booney, building Matt O, Professor O, a little bit. Mary's a little still long. But with that said, guys, everything's going lovely. Said it, man. Well, 8, and then I'm gonna do a show.
Right.
Got through. It's time to do the show, and boom, we're doing this show. With that being said, man, how's y'all's week start with you, Spoon?
Oh, everything's been good so far. Nice weather in New York so far. 80 degrees weather, so be getting used to that. It's good reading up some Cowboy stuff as far as mini camp going on. So happy to be here today.
Yeah. At the office there.
Yeah, man, busy week, man, but we're getting back to business, man. So I'm feeling good, feeling great, man. Shouts out to everybody. You kind of reached out to me this past week, kind of going through some situations physically and medically, but your boy's healthy, strong. We're getting back to football, and I couldn't be more ecstatic, man. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all who reached out, man. It's love, all love on my end, man. So ready to get it, man. We're moving into this rookie camp. A lot of excitement, news coming out. It's time to dive in. So.
Still glitch. Am I glitching? Am I? Go ahead and talk.
Yeah. We're good. We're good. It's like Nick's got glitched, man. So so you stuck with me and Spoon, man. The tag team chess, man. We're gonna toss Nick's off the rope. You know what I'm saying? Like, here we go, man. Oh, there he's back. There you go.
Holy cow, man.
Yeah, there. Oh,
man, internet. I don't know to tell y'all. Internet needs tech. It gets a little something. Said though, it's obvious we had the rookie. Got just overview. What did you think about the rookie camp, guys? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think, the rookie camp is what it's meant to be. You're starting to hear a lot of, news kind of circulate about the performance. Now, I'll say this, and shout out to my guy, Mike Crum, who joined me last night. You got to take it with a grain of salt. You can't get too excited about what you're hearing from rookie camp. But for the most part, man, you're seeing, some of these names that we kind of spoke about are making plays on different things. We kind of seen what Jabril Cox with the interception that he spoke about. So, yeah, so kind of excited about that, man. So someone said Nick sounds like Ariana Grande, man. But yeah, like I said, we're hearing a lot of these names that we spoke about in the draft starting to make a few plays. I think Cowboys Nation's kind of get excited about this defense and, starting to become more optimistic about what we could possibly be with this rookie core. So yeah, I think this rookie camp is doing what it's supposed to do, and we'll see how things shake out once we get into the real OTAs.
Spoony.
I think it feels great. Why? Last off season, we didn't really have an off season like the way we do now. And hearing, the new guys that we brought in, we all know is going to be a competition, especially on defense. And when we're hearing guys like Jabril Cox interceptions, when we're hearing former safety Barry Church saying that he has his eye on, right now safety Ismail Mumaku. Part of it, if I said his name wrong. When you hear those type of things, it makes you feel good as a Cowboys fans, especially in the hands of a defensive coordinator who is more proven than what we had last season. So it's definitely something to be excited for.
Yeah, look, back of what Spoon just said, right? Wow, guys, we finally had a rookie minicamp after a year of COVID, the different things that was going on, and we didn't get to see these guys, until later on in the and we get to see some stuff happening. And right, we hear Parsons tips the ball, and Cox gets the interception, right? And we're seeing out here getting interceptions. So it's exciting. It's a fun time to fly. Temper. Hold on, guys. Hold on. It's just rookie camp. They're not against the big boys yet, right? And enjoy it, ride the ride. But I mean, it's the JT Barretts of the world. Attacking them, this ain't these guys going that we have a wide receiver, the CeeDee Lamb world, the Amari Coopers that they were going against. But you want to hear positive stuff though, and that makes you feel good to get you a little here in May.
Yeah. And I think Mark just mentioned as well, your Quinn's out there working. I mean, I think that's the most, key sign elements that we're seeing Dan Quinn affect early, that he's wanting to be hands-on. He's putting his hand in the dirt as well, and he's teaching this young core. So that's what I'm really excited about, because hopefully I believe that's going to transcend when the veterans start to come into camp as well. So hands-on, showing them the ropes. And honestly, like from my perspective as a past player, not NFL of course, but just having a coach who rolls up his sleeves and gets in the mud with you, it makes it a lot easier to relate to. So I think that Dan Quinn is going to have that huge, relationship factor with not only this young defense, but also some of these veterans. Like, he's putting the work with me. So, that's what I'm excited about, and really see how that transcends on the field. But I'm optimistic that this defense will be a lot better than what we've seen last year. And I think the rookie camp is kind of setting the tone out the gate. So.
And that's one of the things we heard in the first few last year was, man, these guys don't teach well, right? You heard those things about Nolan and them. They're not good teachers and whatnot. And as soon as Bahana had a little, maybe a little shoulder, boy, he just jumped right in. I'll play nose tackle. Hey, I don't know about y'all, and I'm with you. When I play ball, my coach got out there with no pads and lined up to do a couple of reps.
Yeah.
It got the juices flowing a little bit. Okay, coach. Like, okay, coach, I see you get in here with it.
This is how you come up and he pops in the chest. Like, all right, bro.
Yeah, all right, coach. All right.
That's what we're doing right now, okay? You want to get physical? All right. So, yeah, man. And I think that kind of sets the environment, man. So.
Yeah, and then, of course, the thing that kind of ran crazy was they had the video out there, the one-on-ones, right, where they was showing, like, hand placement with Osa. Quinn was showing him and doing those things. And it's like, man, I said, man, boy, we are really thirsty, Cowboys Nation. I get it. Pandemic, everything got removed last year. What happened? And it just popped up from a coaching a staff member and our defensive coordinator. We want to see this defense turn around. So we latch on. So, man, hey, man, I love all this in May. Spoony. Right. I'm loving all of it.
Listen, embrace it, man. I really do think this defense will be better because of a new coach, the type of players they drafted. It's gonna be more serious. We all know the offense is gonna be lights out, but I think the defense will be much more sound. And listen, you have to be excited for when you have when you hearing highlights of the new players, the young players making plays, and can't when it's supposed to. It kind of tells me that I'm gonna feel good during the season. Now we all know during the season it's a little bit more different because you don't know what they're gonna run, but you're gonna get better.
Right.
You're going to get better. And that's the main thing. You're going to be better. And all we ask for right now is from start to the end, how much better are you going to be? Because I believe we're going to be playoff ready. And I believe going in at the right time with the defense being much better than how they start, listen, anything can happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, also what I feel like we are seeing what we were sold last year, right? Because we were told last year we're going to get back to basics, very blue collar, high energy, focus on turnovers, going back to, and I feel like that's what we're actually going to see this year with Dan Quinn in place. And so, I'm optimistic about this season, man, and what Dan Quinn can really do. So I'm sure we're about to talk about the coaching staff here in a minute, but I like this. It's also a good start. So
and now and Elazar bring it up here. Our guy Isaac, who came from the Mexican League, right? That we got the red shirt on last year, and he came in weighing about 290 pounds. That boy beefed up. 320 in the building, 315, 320. You can tell he added that. Definitely worth on him. Seeing some pictures and some of that work and where he's going to go and what's happening there. Now, back to the coaching and what's happening, right? Let's kind of, we got the Reggie Robinson news today. So Reggie got drafted. He was a cornerback. Then he was moved to safety. And then the coaching staff got fired. And Al Harris said, well, you're going back to corner. And then Dan Quinn said, whoa, not so fast, my friend. You're going to be a safety. All that to say to me, man, we appreciate you and you've done really well, but damn it, you're a cornerback. What is that? What do you think about that, Spoon?
Well, Feel bad for the young man. He didn't get no snaps last season. He's going from position to another position. I am kind of glad he's going back to corner. We all know he's a cornerback, and I don't like the experiment moves and stuff like that. But it also leaves a question again at safety. It really does. Not saying that my man Israel Mumaku can't do the job, but it does take once you put and I believe they cut somebody, right? They didn't release somebody. Sweat, something like that. One of the offensive linemen. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
But
yeah,
Reggie Robinson now moved over to the other side. He may compete with Anthony Brown. We all know Stephen Jones loved cap money, cap space, and trading Anthony Brown could save him $4 million. So that's something that we could definitely look at. But it does leave another spot for safety pretty much open now that you move Reggie back to corner, which is so interesting.
Yeah. I mean, J Tuck, Reggie got a better chance over here. What you think?
I mean, granted, he's an NFL pro, right? But I feel like it's unfair to this kid that you keep pushing him around as far as his position. So I think right now, if he's going to be a corner, let him be a corner and learn the position. Like, I feel like he keeps flip-flopping because we've been saying so frequently on this channel, you can't just create a safety. There's natural instincts. And so you're thinking, okay, well, I'm going to be moved to safety next year. So you're probably studying, you're watching film, you're getting prepared to play safety. You're like, actually, you're going back to corner. It's like someone keep moving in job positions back and forth. And so I feel like they really need to leave Reggie Robinson at corner and let him develop. Now, shout out to Mike last night. We were saying that Reggie Robinson fits kind of the mold that Dan Quinn likes at corner. Long arm, speed, physical, cover 3 type guys. So, you might want to leave him at the position and give him a fair look. So I'm perfectly for it because I feel like the Dallas Cowboys question mark for me personally, besides the safety position, is the cornerbacks. Granted, we have Diggs coming in. We have one of my favorite picks in Boss Man Fat. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that. All right, stay tuned with that. So you got RCB2, but like it adds more depth. Now you have Anthony Brown, J. Lou, and Reggie Robinson with Kennedy, and maybe some other corners kind of flying under the radar. Now you can feel a little bit better about the cornerback position, but we still have that question mark in that void when it comes to safety. But maybe Israel Mukuamu can actually take over and be that, kind of that player behind DeMonte KZ. So we'll have to see how that all works out. So,
and last year, me and Spoon definitely, we were like, man, just leave him at corner when he got moved. Man, just leave the young man at corner.
Right.
And there was actually a report leading up to the season that, man, they almost thought about and toyed with the idea of starting both the rookies at corner last year. Like they want, like Nolan kind of wanted to do that a little bit. Obviously, it didn't happen. We saw what happened, and we're not going to rehash that, right? But for me, it makes me feel better about corner for a couple of reasons. There's more depth there. We've talked about a lot here about getting a veteran guy, whether it be Brian Poole, whoever the case may be, in here to help with competition. But I just look at it and back to he kind of fits the mold with the long arms. He's got the speed. And I look at things like when I think about Stephen Jones, he starts talking about the cap, and it's like, well, to me, it kind of comes down to it's going to be a battle between, I think, him and AB. If they feel comfortable enough with Reggie Robinson, cornerback, I think AB. I don't think he's going to be cut. He might be a trade candidate. Could be with some trade bait, perhaps. But when you take one away, because we did a show not too long ago that OurLens.com said that Reggie Robinson is going to be a starting free safety. Obviously, that's off the board now. So we got to kind of go back and see what's good. Let me jump in here real quick, man. Shout out to Jackson in the building, moving the changes in the building, man. What is going on? Of course, Mendoza always coming through. Boy in the building. Keanu, stay healthy real quick. He's got a question. Do you trust Keanu to stay healthy? Time will tell, brother. I mean, we hope. What's that old
Kodak Black?
I hope so.
Right.
Dominic Toe's in the building. What's going on? Hey man, Earl Thomas. I mean, maybe we are making room for Earl Thomas. I do like the DJs in the building. Morris Gatson. What's going on? I got Woodard, Big Woodard in the building as well, man. We appreciate you as always, man. Give it a like, give it a share. Make sure you are subbed to all channels that are here. Matt O will be along here in a second. So let's rewind back now. Let's talk about this. So rookie camp came and went. All right, Reggie's moved on. All right, we're going back to the safety position, guys. it was brought up. We'll just throw it out there, right? We are the people's champ here. Are they making room for Earl Thomas? Yes or no? Was that the move?
I'll let you.
You know, I'm trying to calm down with these hashtag route. I'm really in.
Okay, you're trying to reel it in, Father. That's what's up.
I really am, but it's kind of rough, man. Because we have a hole there. It's no lie to it, and I mean, let's be honest. Kazi, we don't know his situation. Hopefully he's fine and everything like that. Israel Mamaku. Yeah, it's mini camp. It's not training camp yet. We not see him getting interceptions in preseason yet. It's a lot to tell. But I mean, my thing is this: why not hashtag Route 29? Why not? I mean, at the end of the day, he knows the system. He knows Dan Quinn. He's the type of safety that fills the need.
Yeah, I have an answer for you, though.
Hashtag Route 29.
Yeah, I have an answer for you because somebody was on the conference for those season ticket holders. I think that question was asked, sir.
And they knew to kick me off the call, man. But the question was asked because we had a season ticket holder conversation with Stephen Jones. Was that yesterday? Yesterday. And the question was asked about him addressing the safety position. He was like, "Yeah, I felt like we addressed it by bringing in DeMonte KZ. I think Israel's going to be great for us, and then also Jalen Curse. So we have some depth at that position, a quality guy." So I'm just like, here we go. But here's what I want to say. Here I want to say to the chat. Don't y'all get scared now for no Route 29 because I saw everyone beating their chest a few weeks ago like, oh, we need some tough guys. We need some dogs. We need some attitude. I'm tired of all these Garrett guys. So obviously character isn't concerned with these Cowboys. And so if you want someone that comes in, knows Dan Quinn's scheme, can contribute for a reasonable price.
Yeah. One of these routes got to get us there eventually. We've been appreciating it for a while.
A whole bunch of routes, man.
My guy Stuart, everybody have the countdown clock until McCarthy gets fired. Now it's interesting that you actually brought that question though, because we're going to talk a little bit about that here shortly when my guy Maddo gets on here, and we're going to spin the table on this coaching staff a little bit. So stick around for that. But yeah, again, bringing it back to the topic at hand, we got a little off there. Chad was kind of talking to us. We kind of doing whatnot, right? This rookie camp, and I just want to hedge people's, expectations. Look, be excited, be happy, get turned up about it here in May. But understand, you took 11 guys, 8 of them on defense.
Right.
Man, if 5 of these guys of the 8 make the final roster, it's a hell of a draft, guys. And I think, I think a lot of times we need to put it in context. Expecting a 7th round pick guy to be a major contributor at free safety year 1 is a very big stretch for our guy Israel coming out of South Carolina. And a lot has been made about Cox here currently, and I love the Cox pick and where we got him at. But to me, I think of him of, hey, he can help you a little bit on defense, be a special teams ace, and then the following year he walks through that door and begins to be that starter. So remember, this time last year, Francis Bernard was the best coverage linebacker ever.
Right.
Yeah. And then got no burns. So, expectations healthy, I should say. Expectations do matter. Man, we want these guys on. Hey, man, it'll be great if all the members and everything, man, that would be fantastic. But healthy expectations are where we're at.
I think 5 is too low, to be honest with you, Knicks.
You think so?
Okay. I think 5 is way too low because we have Parsons, right?
Yeah,
he's going to be on the roster. You should have Bossman. You should have Osa, Chauncey.
I look. That's a battle for. That's where I'm gonna. I'm gonna battle you. I'm gonna battle you on that one. Okay. I'm with you, but that could be a Dortz versus him. We'll see. Okay, but go ahead.
Okay, so let's take Chauncey out. Okay, let's add Jabril Cox. He should be there.
Okay,
right. Nashawn Wright's going to have to make the roster.
Well, you would think, right?
Right. He's gonna have to. So that's what 5 there. Then you toss in Simi. Right.
I said 8. I said 5 out of the 8 defensive guys, though.
Oh,
not
defensive guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 out of
That makes. Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah. I think Simmy's knocking somebody off this roster.
Right.
Simmy knocking somebody off for sure.
Right, because then you also have Bohanna, and
Right.
then possibly Israel on the cusp. So yeah, okay, that makes sense then.
I only see one maybe not making it out of that whole defense. Just one.
Okay.
And that's right. That's the only one.
I don't know. You know what? Spoonie.
He's gonna have to make it.
He should. He should. Where he was.
I think Coach Paquette. I think he's got some sleeve for him.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt O, aka Professor O, is in the building. A little bit late, so we're talking rookie minicamp real quick. Health expectations. Be excited. Don't lose your mind. So the process is 8 defensive picks. How many make the final roster?
Yeah, I heard you guys chime in on that. That's a tough one. It really is because
it is. It's
there's at least 5 locks that I think we all kind of universally agree on, and then you get the guys if we're going with the 3-4, it's hard to not see Bohanna make the roster.
Right.
We don't have a true zero technique. We have one technique, but we don't have a true nose tackle zero technique. It's hard to see him not make the team. Israel Mukwamu, especially if you're moving Reggie Robinson to cornerback. Now the safety group has an opening there. KZ may start out on PUP list. It's, again, hard to see him not make the opening day roster. Chauncey's the one that I'm I can't see them not bringing a top 100 pick on the opening day roster.
Right.
But the defensive end group's probably the deepest of the position groups for the guys that are on the cusp or bubble for what we're discussing. Nahshon Wright is kind of the go-to whipping boy for the Cowboys fans because everybody hated the pick universally at 99. So I get it, but again, it's hard to not see him make the roster. Reggie Robinson's competing with probably Brown, not Wright. So I think I would say at least 6. At least.
6 out of 8.
And look, and the great thing about it is, guys, man, it's just competition at every level, right? It's just competition. Go out here and earn it. I do believe guys like Anthony Brown, Tristan Hill, Dorrance Armstrong. Hey, you're on notice, guys.
Now, is it truly that though? Because just like Professor O just mentioned, some of these guys were taking the top 100. So can you really afford to not have them on your roster at all? Let's say for instance,
let's start with Wright. Let's start with Wright, who was pick number 99, who universally was considered to be something that should have been a little bit later down the line, right? Within the NFL confines. So I mean. Is that a guy that you think that you can stash on the practice squad? I don't know, right? But that's something that had to be seen moving forward. And then, of course, too, we do know this. Cowboys, they like to do this. Oh, that ankle? Oh, you tweaked your ankle? Man, you know what? I think you broke it. Yeah, no. You broke it. No, you're going to IR. No, trust me.
Right.
Man, that looks bad. So that'll be a key to look to see if somebody tweaks a little bit and they say
is the practice squad rules the same from last year or is it changing?
I'm not sure. Now, see, I hope they are. They should be, but I don't know if they will be or not. I don't know that off the cusp. I don't know if Elazar or Matt O might know that for sure.
Well, can I spice it up a little bit?
I mean,
spice I think
just throw a little spice on it.
Yeah, spice it up.
Little season. I think also. I got one undrafted free agent to make the roster for sure.
Oh yeah, we get back to that safety position. I already know. Let's go.
No, not safety. I ain't saying. I like Tyler Ball. I hope he makes it. I don't.
You talking about Hines?
Anthony Hines. I got Anthony Hines making that.
Okay,
spot.
so if we go that route, if Hines makes the roster,
Gifford or wait, they got him in middle, so I would say Gifford or Bernard.
Okay.
Oh man, I don't that room.
I think he was the highest paid free agent, the highest paid when
that linebacker room, bro. Boy,
that thing is thick. I mean, that's what we're excited for sure.
Right.
You know what I mean? Man. I'm happy with Robinson going there. I'm happy what we heard with the guys making plays. And again with the Cox interception, the thing that everybody kept leaving out was Parsons with the tip. I don't know why it bothered me. Because I'm hey, Parsons got the hand on the ball on one of those bad boys. Let's make sure we're bigging up our guy Parsons. Now, there was another one that was off of the receiver's hands, and he caught that one as well too, right? But yeah,
Wright gets the interception, and it's crickets.
Yeah, yes, crickets.
I
right.
haven't even seen the clip. I've been trying to find it. I don't know if he jumped the route, if it was a bad throw. I have no idea. I saw the Cox one like a million times.
Yeah,
just kind of interesting.
And then going back to Spoony bringing another guy that was undrafted. You drafted 2 linebackers, and then a third guy undrafted, making the. Well, how many linebackers are you going to carry?
Yeah, that's
that's some of the pressure as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of helps Spoony out is if we are going with the 3-4, you're going to go deeper at linebacker. However, some of those defensive ends are going to account as an outside linebacker. So that kind of changes the role a bit.
Randy Gregory.
Yeah.
Right. So, look, interesting time. One of the reasons why I've said, hey, look, I got us at 10-7, right? I said, let me see how this defense is going to look. Hey, I love everything coming from the rookie camp, but we still don't really have a great idea of how we're going to look in base versus the nickel. Big nickel's a big thing being thrown around right now, and how that's going to transpire, right? So that's the fun of this, figuring those things out and seeing how it's going to roll. But Matt O, everybody right now, we came off the rookie camp. I'll give you space real quick to talk about it since everybody did. We got guys going to the Hall of Fame already and whatnot. What do you think overall, your overall thoughts about the rookie camp and what you got to see in here?
Yeah, I was able to listen to you guys. It's pretty much echoing what you said. I mean, it's exciting to have it back, a sense of normalcy again, but can't get too excited about it. I mean, we had guys like JT Barrett and Davis, I think was the other guy, tryout guys that didn't even make the team. Mm-hmm. So you're not really getting a great look. And then you're really going to see how these guys measure up when you see them against true NFL caliber players. And that's not a knock against those guys. It's just all of them are at the same level. They're all just getting acclimated to the NFL. They haven't had full off seasons and they haven't learned the tricks of the trade yet. So when you see them go against, like when you look at Nahshon, for instance, you see him going against Gallup, even Noah Brown, a guy like that, you'll get a better feel for how he really is. So it was cool to see. Like, it's nice to have football back. I'm a football junkie like you guys. So anything we can get, even if it's just a little sample, I'll take it. But I'm not getting excited. I'm not penciling anybody in as a starters or anything like that yet. So.
Well, Ireland's.com already missed on our starting free safety, right? Because they had Reggie. There are a swing and a miss. Ain't nobody tweeting them though.
Right.
Neither here nor there.
I got your receipts.
Oh, you did do
it. You're wrong.
But with that being said, we're going to pivot away from the rookie minicamp. Obviously, we'll about that with y'all, man. Get y'all's feedback. We thought temper some be excited. Just temper the expectations a little bit.
Right.
Now, Matt O brought this up. This is something I actually had touched for a little bit later into the off season before we got to training camp. But I said, you know what, man, Matt, let's go ahead and let's talk about it right now. Nobody else is talking about it. And and the thing about it is you made a good point as well. A lot of shade still kind of going to McCarthy's way. You're right. There's a lot of folks out here in Cowboys Nation that is feeling a little indifferent still about Mike McCarthy. Now, maybe some of that's from what happened last season, right? Some of the going for it here and there, or not going for it here and there, and whatnot. So Mike McCarthy, and everyone's been talking about the keys to this team being better is health, or the defense just getting into the top 20 with this offense, and we're talking about what this team can do to be better. But is it not really maybe just down to Mike McCarthy, guys? Is that where we feeling about Mike McCarthy? Last year we were talking about a lot, right? Spoon, I said the honeymoon era. Man, it's the honeymoon era with him. Then when's the honeymoon era going to stop? And then week one, it stopped kind of. And then it just kind of transcended and things happen. So here we are in year 2 now of the marriage, if you will. And we know that a lot of these coaches are locked up for 3 years, how many years he has left. The soon-to-be guy that was going to lead the Boise State, the offensive coordinator, got a nice 3-year deal. He was all but gone. So, whoa. Come on back. Got you for 3 years. You're the incumbent. You're the guy I'm waiting over there in Kellamore. But with all those things swirling and happening and whatnot, and you made a good point, Matto, about some other coaches in the league that don't get the same treatment, if you will. I'll let you start off, Matt. It was your question. You brought it up. I'll let you run with it. Cowboys Nation being nervous about Mr. McCarthy. What do you think? What are your thoughts on how we doing?
Yeah, so I'm guilty of that. I've been, skeptical about him and pretty resistant to him being the head coach. And it kind of got me thinking, like, if we just kind of refresh back to last season. So 2019 ends. It was a train wreck. We finally get the word that we're moving on. The Garrett era is over. And I think fans, truthfully, were more excited about Garrett being out than they were about McCarthy coming in. I think if you put your finger on the pulse of the fan base, it was more, hey, we're just excited it's anybody but Garrett, than, hey, we're excited that he's the guy that we brought in. And I'm looking at kind of the way that the paradigm has shifted since then. So we get in, people are excited for a change, and then the season was a disaster last year. Injuries, COVID, bad play, terrible defense, questionable special teams, questionable fourth down decisions. So like all in all, it wasn't pretty. So I acknowledge that. But now going into year 2, I feel like the fan base's opinion of him may not be fair. And the reason the question came up was I was thinking about the way that we look at McCarthy, and a lot of people are saying McCarthy was only good because he had Aaron Rodgers. He only had a 600, I think it was a 618 win percentage because he had Aaron Rodgers. He only won 1 Super Bowl because he had Aaron Rodgers, but he also drafted and developed him. And we don't give him credit for that. We just give him credit for the end result of having Rodgers and what that amounted to. And then I was thinking about other coaches, and I'm like, Sean Payton had an elite quarterback, Drew Brees, and none of us, or very few people, say he's only good because he had Drew Brees. And they had 4 7-9 seasons with that great quarterback. So it's not like having a great quarterback guarantees you're going to have a winning team. And the NFC North is not necessarily a weak division. So I just wondered if maybe the fans are a little bit too down on McCarthy, and I'm wondering if it's really justified. We could do a lot worse with head coaches. And then it also comes back to, there was a poll on ESPN last week where they were ranking the NFC East head coaches, and McCarthy was like 3 or 4 on almost everybody's list. And I was surprised. I'm like, Joe Judge, Sirianni, and Rivera. And Rivera I get, but the other two, I'm like, how? Like, I don't understand how his reputation has dropped as quickly as it did. So that's kind of where the question came up. And I'm not super high on him. I'm just wondering if maybe we're being a bit unfair as a fan base towards him.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And then some of it's the weird look, and this is the stuff that gets when we talk about the lights in Dallas, unlike other places. Some of this is a part of that. Was he's out here. Is it, well, you got to say what you got to say to get the job, and then you see Stephen Jones's face. That's a bad look, right? Then during the drafted times, like they have him on the panel with Stephen Jones, like after the 3rd round, and he's like, I don't know why the hell I'm here. This is Dan Quinn should be here, right? And we were all kind of saying the same thing. Where the hell's Dan Quinn? Let's talk about these picks and how they fit and whatnot. But with that being said, J Tuck, McCarthy, this weird relationship. You yourself had a real relationship as well, I guess.
Yeah. So a lot of people want to call me one of the conductors of the pitch train.
Right, and then you're like, okay. Yeah. Go ahead. What do you think?
Mike McCarthy, bruh. Me and Mike McCarthy. So I'll say this, like Professor Otis said, when we moved on to Jason Garrett, Mike McCarthy was my first hire that was believable. I think he was going to be the fit. But what I was saying so frequently last year, I feel like the Dallas Cowboys rushed their decision. I feel like I said, they were out of a bad relationship with Jason Garrett, and the very first girl they laid eyes on in the club, they married him that quickly.
It was that sleepover, though. I don't know what happened at that sleepover.
To the death of me, I've always told Spoonie this to the death of me. If I could ever be a fly on the wall, that would be the moment. Let me hear exactly what was said there, but go ahead there.
Something happened in the sleepover. They were like, all right, I love you. Like on Superbad, man, when Seth, I love you. They're like, yeah, that's what's going on.
Oh, Seth.
Spoon type that up. I know you got the Mike McCarthy and Jason or the Jerry Jones video Superbad. But yeah, so I felt optimistic going into the season last year. But there were so many questionable decisions I did not expect from Mike McCarthy. And the thing I feel about Mike McCarthy is he's a decent coach, but he's just not going to last in Dallas for reasons that Nick just mentioned. Like the spotlight is too bright and he really just can't be what he wants to be. And from my standpoint is if you're an offensive-minded coach, that's what you're known for. That's what you hang your head on. You have the offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore running the shots. And so what value does Mike McCarthy really bring this team where you have Kellen Moore pretty much overshadowing with the play calling for the most part? You have Dan Quinn, who's a proven head coach's damn self and defensive coordinator. What does it say that you do? And that's my question with Mike McCarthy. And I felt like he needs to be the guy to rally the troops, make the smart decisions throughout the game. But we saw that even going through the New York game was not throwing the challenge flag. Like there were so many moments to Mike McCarthy I didn't expect. And so I feel like the spotlight will be on him, because if this team sputters again and gets off to a slow start, it's only going to be natural that the fan base and also Jerry Jones and Steven Joseph is like, well, what are we paying you for? I can keep Kellen Moore as my offensive coordinator or possible head coach in training, because now I have Dan Quinn, who's a proven defensive coordinator and a proven head coach as well, to kind of be that bridge until Kellen Moore can get up to speed. So I feel like it's going to be very important for Mike McCarthy to show his worth and his value going into this season. So, I saw the question earlier about, did we start the clock? Absolutely. Because if we get out to a slow start, and let's say, for instance, we start off 1-4 or 1-5 or 2-5, like, I feel like, it's going to be a lot of changes when it comes to Mike McCarthy. And so I would definitely, keep that into consideration. And yeah, and also, going back to even the Nolan hire, like the Nolan hire last year didn't make sense. You got to be held accountable for it. Like, if you brought in a guy who had zero experience, I mean, for the most part, his track record, but he's just a friend of yours, like, you got to be held accountable to what happened to the defense last year. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Cowboys handle Mike McCarthy. But of course, winning cures all, but we'll see.
Yeah, Sponey, McCarthy.
Too
much heat, not enough heat. What you think?
Well, a lot of folks didn't understand what Chuck was saying about the super bad thing. So I got the clip right here.
Take it down, Smooth. They're going to copyright us. Don't do it. They're going to go scratch us. Don't do it, Smooth.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, though. Mike McCarthy, go ahead.
But now, here's the deal. I'm mixed. People saying that McCarthy had a bad. Yeah, it was a bad year for. Yeah, injuries. You have really no off season. You can compare the situation with the Washington football team because they won. Understand this. Was they injury as like us? No, it wasn't. Okay. The Cleveland Browns, were they injured as us? No. We're seeing what's going on with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, right? That poor coach is going through a lot over there. I mean, what did he do? We're seeing the fact that Aaron Rodgers was throwing up the issues on everybody else without taking accountability. I recall, well, why would you call that play if I knew that play X, Y, and Z? Those are the things that McCarthy was going through. And now we're seeing it with Aaron Rodgers and a new coach and a new GM over there. So that's
but they winning, Spoon. But they winning.
Okay, they winning. They are winning. They are winning. That is correct. But here's another thing. McCarthy's coming into a situation not only with injuries at the players, the front office. Last year, when we hit blue-white scrimmage, we always tune into that. Last year with the blue and white scrimmage, what happened? What did we see? All we saw was nothing. That was a change that McCarthy brought in. Stop being a circus. That was one thing. He had to correct management. Stop selling the team like a circus all the time. You can't do that. I want my team to concentrate on what they need to concentrate on, especially where I can't see them face to face. I got to go on the computer to do that. So it's a lot of things in there. I can't just blame McCarthy. McCarthy's coming to an organization that, my God, let's keep it real. Look at the moves they have made these past years. At least McCarthy in Green Bay, when he wanted a safety, he got Charles Woodson, right? When he wanted certain plays, whatever they allow him to get, he got them, and he won. And if they didn't win a championship, at least they was in the playoffs competing in all those years. You're coming in Dallas. We haven't been in the playoffs since when? Since 2016. Now, and again, there was no accountability. When you see former players like Jesse Holley tweet that now there's no more privilege from players, that hurts a coach. When you hear a comment like, if Jerry's not sweating it, why am I sweating? It tells you that we are all just fucked up all over.
Right.
And so that's what McCarthy to me is the best hire since Bill Parcells as far as brand name.
Yeah,
but
I would say,
is he going to be allowed to though? That's the problem.
Well, I think he is. I think he is because I think he is. I really do. I think
I think the thing with McCarthy is that where I was at was I watched him, and whenever those shots were being fired from anonymous sources and whatnot, McCarthy was kind of chill and laid back. And then once it kind of cleared out, and he came out and said, "Hey man, we're men." Okay, I respect that. Hey, my door is open. You got something to say? I'm a man. Come through. I like that from my head coach.
Right.
I think also we were looking for that fired up McCarthy on the sidelines, and we didn't see it early through the season.
Right.
Once they kind of cleared out the gunk and the muck, Then you started seeing the McCarthy we thought we were going to get on the sideline some. So he was kind of making a point of, I'm not going to fight for you till you show me you're going to fight for me a little bit. And I can buy that. And I think some of this is a thing that we talk about, and something gets lost in the sauce, guys. Man, we got to change. And Spoonie, you're kind of all the way around it. Mm-hmm. It's the culture. We heard Dak talk about the culture. And Mike McCarthy as well. Like, we have 9.5 years of Jason Garrett, quote unquote, culture. And those things have to be changed, and they don't happen overnight, especially whenever you have this COVID weird, what are we doing, Zoom call. The one thing that I'm going to put at McCarthy's head, and you can't tell me otherwise, was the Mike Nolan hire. Trash can't punch, brother. Hey, bro. Hey, you screwed the pooch. Okay?
I think it was actually I think it was actually two bad decisions there, because not only did you bring in Nolan, but you allowed him to try to make a complete defensive scheme shift in the middle of COVID. If one thing to say, I'm going to bring you in, you got to run the defense as is. We'll try to, sprinkle it in through the season, and then next year move into it. Knowing we were going to have a short offseason with just virtual, he should have pulled the plug immediately on that.
Right.
So it's actually two bad decisions there.
Way too much. Bobby, let me ask you a question. Where's Mary? Man, Mary has been caught up. She with work. She's had some serious things that she had to handle from the work standpoint. She's still on the fold. She's still on the mix. She was with us on the draft coverage. She's coming back to the fold, man. I just talked to her yesterday. Everything's good on that front, man. Hey, man, life beckons. Life beckons sometimes, and that's and that's what it is. It's Bobby just backdoor. Let me grab one more time. Said over Zoom, as you were saying there, Matto. This new events over Zoom, man.
But I granted, if this wasn't the Dallas Cowboys, and if I didn't know any better, that would be Mike McCarthy's a great hire because he could change things. But I know we're kind of preaching this, open competition, and it all sounds good in the grand scheme of things. And so you get that man sitting there at Oxnard thinking, I'm paying Jalen Smith how much a year? Yeah, we're willing to talk about that.
Yeah,
I need to see Jalen out there a little bit more, because he's a good ball player, and so that's the thing. We like him.
Same thing on draft night, talking about cap ramifications from your draft picks.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's the hard part. It's like Mike McCarthy wants to do things this way from a football perspective. Like, he wants to get these guys in. He wants to kind of have this attitude, this toughness, but you have these two overseers that just, aren't going to stay out the kitchen. And you can kind of see it with Mike McCarthy, because after that Thanksgiving game, when that fourth fake punt happened, all that aggressive shit went out the window. Because I'm sure he got talking to, hey, bro, turn all that down. So it's like, punt team, come out, because he saw it.
But you know what I'm talking about? I love that they kept on fighting.
Right,
even the game with Gary when Gary came in as a backup, in Minnesota, we was close, and that's what I wanted to see, where that's changed. Now, what I love about this is that, again, even though you have the guys that are making money, or the brand name guys who
be right back, go right ahead.
All right, even though we have the guys that are brand name who are on contract like Jalen Smith, or the guys who are brand name who can make that money. And LVE, they are put on notice. And I think Jalen Smith in this defense under Dan Quinn, I think he could rock. I think he could come back to that 2018 form. But just to know that I don't have the spot on lock and I have to compete, the more you compete, the more you get better. The more you even get better at the little thing that you're not that good in. And that's what we want for this whole this defense. Offense is fine. It's the defense. And when you hear a guy like P.O. said earlier, when Dan Quinn, when Bahama went out for a couple of plays and Dan Quinn went in there, that was pretty much an example set. We don't stop. Right. We keep going. If my old ass could get in there and still practice, you can too. And that's what I love about it. Instead of somebody just watching from the sidelines with the binoculars, that's not going to do nothing. He's getting in. This is why I can't even wait when the whole defense comes, when the vets come in there, when guys last year would get no playing time, and now you got a chance to get it under this new coach, even though he wasn't drafted under him. Now you get to compete in front of him. This is why I think this defense is going to make a serious leap, not because of just talent or whatever. It's because of the teaching, the culture, and just what we need. So in front, and when we have our leader in Dak Prescott kept on emphasizing that
right
during his contract at the press conference. Culture. He knows what it is. They still affected by this Garrett culture, and that's
but it's
yeah,
all,
hold
but
on,
it's not. But it's okay.
I was just gonna say real quick. I think Eric, man, Philbin my best coaching job out of everybody last year. To be honest with you,
Right.
Philbin did a fantastic job with this offensive line. To be honest with you, go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, but I was gonna say the culture isn't Jason Garrett. The culture is Steven and Jerry.
No. I'll disagree with you just a smidge. Because look at the guys they drafted this year versus the guys that Jason Garrett would have drafted.
But
there's a little bit of a change there.
But let's say this, right?
Okay.
Zeke had a fumbling issue right now last year, right?
Does
Mike McCarthy have the authority to say, you know what? I'm not playing Zeke no more. He's done. Tony Pollard, you're my guy. He absolutely doesn't.
Right. I mean, how many? Yeah, but we've seen. I feel that, but I mean, is Kamara gonna get benched down there in New Orleans if he fumbles a couple times?
With Belichick, don't love him, addition. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you mess up, you know what I'm saying? James White, like you've seen so many players. If you mess up and you're not doing things my way, I'm done with you. And we kind of go back to the Jimmy Johnson era. Jimmy had that authority. He'd be like, you know what? I'm not rocking with you no more. You're done. You're fired. You're out of here. You're off the plane. But Mike McCarthy does not have that authority because Jerry and Stephen Jones, and it's going to be hard for him to change it.
Well, man, let's show you guys an impression of the type of players and Gary. I'm gonna show you guys an impression.
Eric, as a head coach, yes, but if you look at his work outside the head coach, he's been really good in the league. Look what he did with the Ravens after Miami. I'm with you. Taking Ted again early, coming out with the speech of "You're gonna love this kid at number 7" and da da da. Yeah. Down there in Miami, I'm with you there, Eric. But you know what, man, guys. Bounce back, things happen. Go look at his work in the Ravens. Go look at his work before Miami, and I see what he did last year. I'm not going to hold somebody to 1 year, but I'm with you though, bro. Yeah, that Miami stuff was trash. Eric Kush, it was trash.
And answer James's question, I absolutely would. If Zeke had a fumbling issue and he can't hold on to the ball, he absolutely should get benched. And we should move on. You got to sit him down. And they did for a hot second. Yeah,
I mean, you sit him down, but you don't. Damn, Tuck, you said, man, I'm sitting down. I'm moving on. Whoa.
But it wasn't just one game. It was a consistent over a span of games. Like, all right, bro.
What do you have? Like five fumbles in like 4 games or something like that? As it was.
Yeah, he lost 4 of those. He lost 4.
He lost like 4 of them. Something like that.
He tried to do too much. Listen,
I just want to say real quick. My bad, Spoonie. I just want to say real quick. So, friend of the show, Geechee, had a comment that I wanted to highlight real quick. He said, they let Mike hire his whole coaching staff. They would never let Garrett do that. And that's why I think the McCarthy hire, no matter what happens with him, is beneficial for the Cowboys because it was Jerry and Steven allowing somebody to have more leash than what we've seen recently. And after the Garrett era, you can say what you like about Mike. You can call him a puppet, whatever. It's a pretty big difference from what we saw with Garrett. Garrett would have never been able to just clean house the coaches and hire all of his own guys.
Yeah.
And the other comment really quick I want to say real quick is when we're talking about Zeke's fumbling, I do want to make the point because we all agreed last year was kind of a wash. McCarthy's team had the second fewest turnovers of any team in the NFL behind only the Patriots in his tenure at Green Bay. He actually is super, super disciplined in what he coaches with his team in terms of turnovers. So I'm hoping last year was just kind of a whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Whatever you want to say. I'm not knocking. I'm just saying that's a scenario where
I would have done the same though. I would say. I mean,
Joseph.
I don't know that you necessarily fully bench him, but you're used to just changing. Like you're gonna start getting throttled down.
And as Joseph said, Pollard is a starter on another team, bro. He didn't start in college.
No,
he's a great COP, right? He's a great change of pace guy. You want him on your team, but he's definitely not a guy he's not a bell cow, if you will, in the way that Zeke can be. And look, that's a different argument for a different day of do bell cows matter and everything. So I don't want to get down that tangent too far. I want to bring it back to this McCarthy and where he's at right now and what we think about him as compared to other guys in the league, right? Because, one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, right? Sean Payton, everyone reveres Sean Payton. He only hit 1 Super Bowl with the great Drew Brees, right? And he went, you dropped a great stat, Professor O. How many times did he go sub 500 with Drew Brees?
4 times. He went 3 years in a row, 7-9, and then it was 4 out of 5 years he went 7-9 with Drew Brees. So having a great quarterback doesn't mean you're gonna have a great team. You still have to be able to coach.
And to add on to that, people in an argument, they will really quick go to Drew Brees' stat and look at the yards. He has the most attempts in passing than any other quarterback in the league. That's their scheme, throwing the ball. How many dozen yard runners he ever had besides Kamara? And that was late in his career right now. This is why on third downs, they barely trust him throwing that ball. His shoulder is done. The amount of time he threw that ball. But going back to Mike McCarthy, people forget when he was in New Orleans as a coordinator. Remember Aaron Brooks? K-Swiss sneakers. This is why McCarthy got hired in Green Bay. He's able to he'll trust me with him and Dak Prescott. We saw Dak last year.
But how hands on is Mike McCarthy?
There you go. Yeah. See, this
but Mike McCarthy he's not hands on like that in Dallas because even going back when Ben DiNucci smoked about his preparation for the Philly game, he was like, "Well, I was working directly with Kellen Moore. It's like I didn't have much communication with Mike McCarthy. Kellen got me ready. So, what is it that you say you do? That's."
But here's the thing. So I do agree with what you're saying. The main thing to me, and I do agree, is that it's Stephen Jones and Jerry. They have to fall back.
Right. They have to.
You got to fall back. Fall back and play your role. And Mike McCarthy is a brand name. He's not a Gary. No disrespect to Gary. Right. I think Gary is a good guy to prepare, but I just think he's stubborn in a lot of different ways, in my opinion. When it comes to McCarthy is the closest thing that we can that we have right now that we can get to the deep into the playoff. I think he's the best coaches ourselves. Right. They got to do their part. Always got to do their part.
Well, Nick has always said, if you're going to bring in McCarthy, I want to get the full McCarthy. Let him call the damn plays. Right. You got an offensive guru. All right, you're in charge. Kellen Moore, you're going to take a back seat for a little bit, but Mike McCarthy is fully on you. If you want to delegate to Kellen, that's perfectly fine, but we know that's not the case. We know Jerry and Steven have their hands in it when it comes to this Kellen Moore decision, which brought him back. So,
yeah, 5 years, both of them. Yeah.
So let me spin it this way. On a scale of 1 to 10, your confidence level in Mike McCarthy being a head coach and taking to the right. I know you're hitting these frogs out here. I'm outside. Man, it rained here today. It is what it is. I'm literally in the backyard. But with that being said, with Mike McCarthy and the ups and downs, and you're right, Jay. So the one thing I said was he came in here and the first thing he did was, well, I'm going to kind of learn his terminology, keep this thing rolling, yada, yada. So I told everybody that as soon as Kellen Moore signed the deal to stay here and not go to Boise State and be a football god, that Deck's getting signed. There won't be a tag. There's no way that Kellen Moore was coming back and leaving Boise if he wasn't going to be or he wasn't going to have Dak Prescott long term. So, scale of 1 to 10, COVID be damned, different things that have happened. Mike McCarthy heading this team in a CEO capacity, I guess, is what we got to say, because he's not going to call the plays, guys, right? So where are you at when McCarthy getting this thing in the right direction? 1 being terrible, 10 being, yes, we're going to a Super Bowl. Jay Tuck, go ahead.
5.
50-50. Yeah, Professor. 5. Oh, no, go ahead. Expound.
I was going to say 5. I mean, if we're going to get there, it's going to be because of Dak Prescott, not because of Mike McCarthy. That's the thing. It's I can't see us going to a Super Bowl, playing a Kansas City and being like, damn, Mike McCarthy out-coach Andy Reid or something like I just don't see that. I feel like this is going to be Dak Prescott and his offense carrying us to the big game. So I would say 5. That's where I'm at with it.
Matt O, where you at?
So I don't think a 5 is unfair. I get where Tuck's coming from. I'm a little bit higher. I'm a 7. And again, the reason is because I see 2 big shifts from our team from a culture standpoint. They let a head coach make a lot of the coaching decisions. And then the following year, they bring in another defensive coordinator, and that was not a scout's draft. That was a coach's draft.
Well, let me press
and they allowed us to do that.
But let me press you.
But he failed.
Hold on, but let me press you real quick.
We don't know that they failed, though, yet. We're going to see. The jury's out.
Let me press you, though. Was the Nolan removal in Quinn McCarthy?
I don't know.
Steven? See, and there's
completely valid question. Completely valid. I don't know.
And that's where I'm kind of torn when it comes to McCarthy. But you got him at 7. So 5, 7. Spoonie, where do you have McCarthy at right now? 10.
And I'm gonna say why. I'm gonna say why. it's quiet. McCarthy's keeping the Cowboys news quiet. When it's quiet, that means there's good things coming about. I don't think McCarthy just really sit there and don't really say much. I really do, and he says a lot. And at the end of the day, when it comes to Dan Quinn, that was his hire. I don't think Stephen Jones hired Dan Quinn and told McCarthy he's a guy. They have all relationship now with Nolan. Listen, granted, he didn't do a good job last year. But also, you didn't do a good job with players that didn't play good with for the last other defensive coordinator either. You know what I'm saying? My thing with Nolan is that, again, if you wanted to swap somebody out, who would you put in? We are still stuck in that Garrett era. This offseason is the first year, clear year, that we getting away from the Garrett era. Dak was saying it, culture. And McCarthy's on board. Blue and white scrimmage, I know we're gonna go live, but guess what? All we're gonna do is see what jersey numbers go by, helmets go by. It's not gonna be like a live game like we saw in the past. He's making it.
I beg to differ. We're gonna see a blue and white scrimmage this year. You can bet your ass we're gonna see it. we
Oxnard too. Yeah, we're gonna be.
I hope so, Tuck. I hope so. But my thing is this: he's bringing. I'm not an actor, but this is.
Shut up.
If this is Jason Garrett with his players, these are the type of players he got. Yes, I love.
Okay.
The band. I love to play the flute. A lot of times I just love to just do my job and etc. I'm just happy to be on this football team X, Y, and Z. Now this is McCarthy's guys. What? See ball, get ball.
Okay.
Let's go to work.
Hold on,
we go to work.
Because let's not act like McCarthy brought in his guys last year and they barely made it to week 3. So,
bro.
I mean, Clinton Diggs, Daryl Worley, Everson Griffin, Don Terry Poe. Those weren't Garrett guys.
Who?
Yeah,
I
can't knock the Everson Griffin hire or signing because I was excited about that. So
I mean, we all are. It was like
that's one that I'm like. The other ones I was like, I don't know. Pause. Kind of. Everson, I was on board with, so I don't want to.
How many guys?
No. I don't. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was going to backtrack on Everson. Holy shit, we got Everson Griffin. Wow. But
I was like, oh, that's how desperate we get in free agency. We're like, oh, Everson Griffin, let's go, bro. Like,
that's it. Tuck, you hit in the head. That's it, Tuck. We get excited from hearing a big name of guys who are past their prime. But that's Stephen Jones.
I know that ever since his prime, because as soon as he left the Lions, he was getting somewhere. I mean, again, that's a conundrum that we're running with Mike McCarthy going on and we're figuring these things out, right? See, for me, I'm kind of with I'm kind of on the 7. And the only reason I'm kind of on the 7 is because the new defensive now argue again, and only in Dallas Cowboys do it. Well, was it the ownership that got Dan Quinn, or was it? Now, here's what I do know is the head coach got Joe Witt. That's his guy. And I know what that guy did for him in Green for a long time. So I know for sure that was part of part of Mike McCarthy, right? And then unlike free agency of guys of elder years, we went into this draft and ended up with, and where your guy Nick's got it wrong. I said, no way, we're going to have 10 picks to make this team. They said, no, Nick, you're full of shit. We're going to trade back and make 11 guys and take 11 and see what happens. I said, okay, well, fair enough. Excuse the hell out of me. My bad. So they're trying to influx this defense anyways. And I mean, we can say offensively as well. We can talk about some of the guys they took, and if that's a different thing. We're going to create competition. We're going to do things that are going to fit what we do. And you know what? Nolan said, we're going to be multiple or whatever, and maybe then to go get to do the things they need to do, particularly in the draft. And you got like a third round. It took them damn near 6-7 weeks. They kept telling us, well, he's not ready. He's not ready. And then as soon as he showed up, we're like, this guy wasn't ready. Looks like he was ready for me out the damn gate. What are we talking about?
Right.
So, it's kind of moving the sticks and thinking about, man, they took these guys, they have feels more so that there's a plan, right? of what they've gotten, what's going on. And look, all that kind of combines into the head coach, right, guys? Like the head coach is saying, yeah, bet. Okay, let's do it. Right? Because if we're going to give him the same crew at 17, McCarthy at 17, CeeDee Lamb, and he said yes, then I have to give the same way now that, hey, whatever was happening in the draft, McCarthy gave the big check on. So I'm going to go give it to a 6. I'm going to cheat. I'll take a 6. I'm going to be.
So we have a 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and 10.
7 and 10. Right?
We're going to 1. I
kind of feel bad for bringing the subject up because Tuck was in a good mood, and then as soon as we started talking
cool,
about
man.
his face changed.
Hey, me and Mike McCarthy, we had our rounds, but I will say this: I feel like the team plays for Mike McCarthy. I'll say that. I'll say that. So I feel like they didn't quit because I feel like if this was last year in Jason Garrett era, they would have probably quit and folded on him a lot earlier. So they continue to fight. Maybe there's something in the watermelons. And I think once you add Dan Quinn, I think this team will kind of rally around, this coaching staff. But, can I honestly say that we're going to be sitting there in Tampa having a great shootout with the Bucks? It's the fourth quarter and we're down by 3 and we're getting ready to tie the ball game. All of a sudden it's a fake field goal. I just don't trust it yet, and that's my thing, man. So it's like, I feel like some of those games he kind of stripped away from us. Going back to that, the Cleveland games, what did it for me? That's when I was like, bro, what is this? Right.
It was the Washington game for me. I'm like, you're down by 4 points with 8 minutes left, and you're gonna fake punt on your own yard line, like on 4th and long. Come on. But again, that was stuff that with Garrett, we were like, he's too conservative, so we got the opposite, and then we're mad at him for being opposite. Like, come on,
we rally back. Dak rallies back versus Cleveland, and then you do a watermelon kick and give them the ball right back in perfect field. Like, what are you thinking? Like, the defense had all the moments, we had all the momentum. Like you. But he has
let's do it.
Right. But he has a PFF subscription, so I guess that's the analytics.
What Tuck just said, we're gonna talk about later with you guys. That's something to pay attention to. The amount of leash that our special teams coach has. Fossil is all about fakes. You're gonna love it or hate it, and especially with our partner. We'll talk about that another day. But
here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you this: out of the 10 years. Out of the 10 years that Gary coached the Cowboys, 14 and 16 was probably the better years, of course, the 2 playoff runs. Even when the team was still growing, last year with all the injuries, I enjoyed last year's season than the other 8 with Gary. Wow. You know why? Because you saw change. You saw spunk.
Bro, didn't nothing improve last year?
No. Tuck, it did. If you take away the injury,
we drafted CeeDee Lamb. That's what we did.
Look, but Tuck, if you take away the injury and everything, all you saw was players kept on playing. They kept on playing. Towards the end of the season, they were still playing for McCarthy.
Well, if they would have quit, we would have really been on the
first half of the season.
If they would have quit at the right time, we would have been on the pitch train.
Man.
Though. That's the thing about it. They didn't.
I'm 50-50 on Spoonie's comment. So I did not enjoy last season.
Garrett would have got us Kyle Pitts, man.
No, I'm not saying I enjoyed last year overall, but I'm talking about compared to the 8 years with Garrett when the team was still growing and he's trying to find an identity. This team was playing for McCarthy lights out towards the end, regardless. They come on. The issue we had last year, besides the injuries, Nolan. But mind you, offensive line was hurt. Our quarterback was hurt. Zeke, with the fumbles, he had to get. But towards the end, when there was a chance to make the playoff, they still play for McCarthy. With Garrett, they would have bailed out by half.
No. I'm not going to.
They would have bailed out on Garrett.
No, they never quit. No. You can't point to a game in Garrett's era where they quit, they shut it down, and they got blown out. Like we talk about, like Son bomb.
Because we were getting dog walked last year. That Washington game we got dog walked.
But to rewind that, they did do enough to get Garrett's guys up out of here, and I think this draft did something different. We'll see. But I want to touch this from Eric Cush. Shout out there, a longtime listener to the team, man. He was rocking with us all through the draft and everything. They said PFF is a joke. And here's where I'm at with that. I want to bring this up is that you can think whatever you want to think about PFF because there's things about PFF that I love and I hate and whatever the case may be. What we have to understand is fans moving forward, NFL teams unequivocally buy into PFF. Those are facts.
Right.
There's not a team in the NFL that doesn't buy into what PFF does. Matto, am I right there? Am I wrong there? That's pretty much where it's at, correct?
Yeah, so the 2019 season was the first year that all 32 teams had a PFF subscription and used them. They use them for their own purposes. So like what we have access to is not per se what the teams have access to. They may have advanced analytics that we don't see, but yeah, all 32 teams use it. The biggest thing that people get stuck on is they're literally grading every single play based on what happened that play. They don't care where you're drafted, how much your contract's worth, anything like that. So a play I'd like to point out is like the Eli Manning, Odell Beckham versus Brandon Carr play. PFF are on the stat sheet. You'll say, well, Eli had like a 40-yard completion or whatever for a touchdown. In reality, it was an off-target throw. So they'll grade that negatively, even though Odell made a great catch. Odell will get a positive grade and Eli will get a bad grade, even though on the stat sheet it shows up as that. So that's like that's like an extreme example I'd point out. But like when people look at Zeke's ranking and Dak Prescott's ranking and stuff like that, I agree with you. There's things where I'm like, I don't get it. But they're basically the thing you have to remember is they have teams that grade every single play over and over and over again on every single game. And you and I watch all of the Cowboys games, and I don't know how much you guys watch league-wide, but I don't watch all 32 teams every week.
Right.
So they have more information than I do. So I take advantage of that information. I don't use that to determine my decision, but it's good information either way, whether you agree or not.
See, with me, numbers can be misleading if you don't research the game. Perfect example: when we trade for Amari Cooper, a first round pick, what was everybody's take with the numbers? 18 drops, right? If you go look at the 18 drops in video, what do you saw? The ball was out of place. The minute in NFL rules, if you touch the ball even with a pinky or a tip of the finger, it's considered a drop. So basically, it was more passes that was not basically uncatchable, but he went for it, which is the quarterback's fault. But what they do is so easy. Look at numbers, 18 drops, and they pin it all on Amari Cooper instead of going back to the tape and look at 18 drops. They were all really uncatchable balls. If you would have caught it, those are highlight catches. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that's the thing. Now, did he have 18 drops in data with Dak Prescott? No, he hasn't. He hasn't. Right. That's why with numbers, you got to really, it's a good thing, but it can be a bad thing. It can definitely be misleading.
Right, no doubt. But again, from our standpoint, and what we have to talk about, and when we're relaying information to the fans, we have to be clear. It's something that Jay Tuck brought up not too long ago, maybe 2-3 shows ago. It's like, we get inboxes of people saying, hey, man, I understand what y'all are saying, but I don't understand what y'all are saying. So we kind of expect everybody to guess what we're going with and what we're talking about. And sometimes we need to break it down a little bit further for the more casual fan that tunes into us. That's our bet. We're going to try to do on our channel for sure. I know Jay Tuck's already talked about it as well. You know, we're going to try to do a better part of breaking down the intricacies, if you will, about what's going on within the league for you to understand. And when it comes to this right here, I don't want to get on the either side of what you think about PFF at this point. Do your own research. Do what you think about it. Again, as I've already said, there's things that I like about it. There's things I don't like about it. I mean, but that's with any kind of analyticals, if you will. Right. But we have to understand as a league moving forward that every single team works with PFF. Now, maybe they get more access, as Professor O said, to more dynamic information than what we get if you have a sub or what they put out there on social media. But you do have to understand at the end of the day, these teams take that serious. We are in the age now, the analytics, like it's Moneyball, right, from baseball years ago. Moneyball has infiltrated NFL. Yes, as Spoonie said, look at the tape. The tape should rule over everything. However, we have to understand how these teams are moving so we can understand and gauge what moves and how they're going to make moves based off some of this information that they're getting. So they're looking and they got guys crunching these things, doing these things, and that's going to matter into what they do. And I would say prototypically that's going to matter into why maybe Basham got a 2-year deal, not an Urban, if you will, right? Those things matter. You're like, well, why did he get that and not Urban? And you start taking a look at these different contracts. It'll be the PFF will be the kind of the difference of that. And we got to understand that. You know what I mean?
And my problem with it is that if you're going through the analytics might say go for it, right? But what is going there through the course of the game with your coach's eyes, right? You might say, bro, the way things are kind of going right now, we haven't got much momentum.
Sorry, go ahead. Keep going, Tuck. Just put a comment.
Which one?
I got
Yeah, exactly, Geach. Like the lack of the human factor. Like you can't tell what's going on through the course of the game. You might be saying, bro, we've been struggling trying to get into our red zone. We just got to get 3 points and put some points up on the board. Our defense is playing solid enough. And I feel like we kind of saw that in the Rams game. Granted, we all love CeeDee Lamb, but bro, going for it, giving to your rookie underneath, you're in the shallow. Let's take the field goal because everything was kind of going in our favor. And so that's where I get frustrated with analytics. What's going on from a football perspective?
So good comments, and I wanted to, my bad. I just want to throw out there.
Go ahead. No, that's great. Go for it.
The reason teams like analytics is because you are removing the human factor and the emotions out of it and saying, statistically, you're better off doing this for this reason. And again, I bring it up Zeke. We had a group conversation talking about Zeke. So fans say, well, Zeke had a down year because of the offensive line issues and because of this and because Dak went out and all that. And all that's true. But what they're grading, they can't worry about that. They have to say, on this play, he did this because of that, period. They don't care what other context is taken out. So basically the reason that teams like PFF is because they're saying, with all other things removed, what did he actually do on the play? Period. We can't care about his draft status, his contract, his reputation, his offensive line issues, his coaching decisions. Did he get a good play or not? That's what they're grading on, and that's why there's always going to be a disconnect between fans and analytics. There will always be that, no matter how much teams embrace it or not, because they are removing the human element. So that's why I thought Geechie's comments so great, and that's why teams are going towards that, because they're saying, well, we may have a season where all that happens. How is this player going to perform based on raw data? And that's how they make their determination on that. So again, it's a piece of the puzzle to use towards your decision. Watch the tape, make your own opinion, look at the context, add it all together, and make your opinion based off that. Don't do it just off PFF or just film or just what we say or just ESPN or anybody.
I can go to Vegas and the analysts can tell me to play all odd right now, but my bank account and my emotions might tell me, bro, you need to chill out.
And the reason we're bringing it up is, and we have to be, as we're talking about Mike McCarthy, and very early on, it was analytics. When Mike McCarthy first coming in, right? We saw week 1 against the Rams. Could have kicked the field goal and tied it, right? Went for it, didn't get it, right? Different things happened. And then we kind of went and moved forward, and we watched, different times where they went forward, where it was the one watermelon kick that worked, the other one that didn't work, and different going for it on fake punts and different things of that ilk, right? So it's different things of that way. And we're talking about Mike McCarthy, so it makes sense for us to bring that in here and talk about PFF and what's going on and where he's at.
Let me ask a quick question.
Sure.
From the analytics standpoint, who is taking care of the analytics and sitting that down to Mike McCarthy? Like, who is it? Like,
got to find that name. Yeah, we got to find that name. Yeah, we got to find that name. I mean, he might have a stat sheet as well.
I'm just waiting on them to call me. Like, I'm ready.
Yeah, right. Professor O told him to fake punt that, bro.
Yeah. Wasn't me.
Just to throw it out there real quick, there's I forget the name of the guy, and I apologize. He's a high school coach who's like well-renowned for never punting, no matter what the situation is.
It's always onside kicks, and it's always go for it on 4th down.
He just got signed by or hired by a college as their head coach. I think it's Towson University, maybe. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that. But Bill Belichick last year gave him a shout out saying he's actually based some of his decisions based on what this guy teaches. So again, it's showing even guys like Bill Belichick are saying maybe there's something to this that we're overthinking it and just saying traditionally we always punt in this situation. So let's punt here. Where like the numbers may say you're actually increasing your odds of losing. But again, that's all going to depend too. It's going to be completely different because some teams, the analytics will make sense. Like I have a better defense than I do offense. It makes sense for me to punt. And other teams are going to say, I know if I punt like Dallas the last couple of years, if I punt, I'm not going to stop them. They're going to score. I'm actually better off going for it in this situation. So it's always good. It's never going to be 100% right. It's just again.
I hate those people on Madden. I hate y'all with a passion, man.
And one thing we're going to look at this season going forward, right, is we're going to be watching all these scenarios with Mike McCarthy.
But now we expect it. I expect it. Like now it's like 4th down.
Let's talk about the punter they just signed.
Yeah.
No, 4th downs are no longer boring in Dallas. Like, don't go grab a refill your drink and go to the bathroom because
that's what I love.
Look up our punter. Literally, just YouTube this punter because there's not a lot of punters you can find. His name is Brian Anger. There, you'll see like 15 different plays where he was running like punter options, reverses, punter sneaks, passing the ball a lot, actually quite a bit. So it's interesting that they brought him in. If he beats out Miss Wander, or however you pronounce his name, at punter, you're going to see at least 3 or 4 fake punts this year, guaranteed. He's super aggressive. And that's kind of the thing I was against McCarthy last year is I'm like, dude, rein in your special teams coach. Like,
I loved it. Bones was in this thing like, man, hey, I'm about to get jiggy. I don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all know why I'm here. Y'all know why I'm here.
I love it. Listen, through the years of Garrett, it's fourth and 1. We all know what
we all are Kush. We all are Kush. Go ahead, Spoon.
We all know what you're going to do at 4th and 1, Garrett.
He started doing it in spite at the end of his career.
Because I go all the way back when Emmitt Smith was here, and I can think about the Eagles game, 4th and 1. We run with Emmitt, and I get it. We've been doing that on 4th and 1. Don't do that.
But here's the difference, though. The difference now, the game has evolved, and with Garrett, he always done. Listen, when defensive players are telling the offensive player to say, "Yo, this is vanilla. We know what y'all doing." When you're going to be more creative now, I look at McCarthy last year. He's basically telling his team, listen, if I go for it on 4th down, I'm going to take the hit. But I'm telling you, I want to be aggressive. I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you. That's how you build the trust. You think when a guy like Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, you think they always punt it? No. This is why Aaron Rodgers and these guys grew up so fast because of the trust. Of the trust factor.
Dak Prescott's ankle was broke. His ankle was broken. We were still doing it. I
want the aggressiveness.
Dak Prescott was out there in Washington.
This is why P.O. say it again, P.O. Say it again.
Eddie Dalton, I'm trusting you.
Can't do it.
Oh, Lord.
4th and 1. Stay to the whole thing because you may see a punt. You may see a 4th and they go for it. And guess what? If they go for it, we win. Yo, McCarthy, it's the man. But if we miss it, McCarthy should have did it. But I love the aggressiveness. How these plays are going to grow. Gabby was so predictable. Listen, if we play hide and seek, I know what Gabby said. Gabby, get out the corner, Gabby. You're right there.
It's not Spoon's minute. Hold on. Okay. All right, Spoon. All right.
I'm sorry.
You better not do that silly stuff in Tampa. I'm going to run out there and snatch it.
Wait. Who's on the field?
Right, I was thinking
no,
snatching Mike McCarthy, bro. You went for it.
Listen. End of the day, I love the approach. I love the approach, and guess what? I believe in the aggressiveness around Dak. I'm telling you, this is going to be a very good team this year. Full off season, barely no injuries, no setbacks. This is going to be a dangerous team. And listen, end of the day, when the years we have with Garrett, we are allowed to be. I don't know you. I got to see it. It's fine because it's been a long time. 10 years. Yeah. 10 years.
I just want to
have hair. Some of us didn't have hair. Some didn't have curls, and then we all grew up. We're waiting.
But here's what I'll tell Mike McCarthy and Bones: if we are kicking off on Thursday night versus Tampa, onside that and throw everybody off.
All I want this year is like a play action, go deep on the first play of the game. Like, stop giving Zeke a draw to start the game off over and over and over and over and over again. Or dive, I should say. I do want to say real quick, bringing back PFF before we wrap it up. As fans, though, we got to be careful with saying that we don't like a source because you don't agree with something, because a lot of fans also use PFF on why Tank is good, despite what the stats say. So despite the Zeke or Tank doesn't have a lot of sacks, they say, well, he's graded a 7th or whatever in their top 10. And again, they're grading it not off of if he got a sack or not. They're basing it off of his pass rush win rate, which is how often do you beat the guy blocking you in 2.5 seconds? It doesn't matter if you sack the quarterback or not, because the quarterback might roll the other way. Did you do your job on that play? And then again, another thing would be like on a slant. We'll just use a slant as an example. So Dak throws a slant to Amari Cooper. How many yards of separation did Cooper have versus the defensive back? Did Dak throw the ball on target? There's multiple things graded aside from just it was an 8-yard gain. So like that's where the context kind of plays into it. And again, it's not perfect. There's gonna be things that I'm a PFF guy, and I'm like I have nothing for you. Like Saquon being graded above Zeke. Like I understand Zeke falling. He had a bad year last year, but Saquon being above him, he had like 19 yards last year or something. I don't know. I don't know how you justify that one. So. I'm with you guys.
Yeah,
but you know what, P.O.? It also, when it comes to numbers, whether it's PFF or just stats, when you want to talk about a certain player, it's how you present it. Like I get tired of watching these shows without naming any names. I'm not trying to do a Kwame Brown if I'm allowed. I won't do a Kwame Brown. But I will say this.
Tell him to meet you in Washington where you can combat or whatever.
Spoony, hold on, Spoony. Let me mute Spoony. Hold on. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
I won't be calling you, bro, but I'll say this. If you're going to talk about a player, like say the game against Green Bay a couple years ago when Dak threw
Shut up, frogs!
And the 3 interceptions were all tip passes from the receiver's hands, all catchable balls. What was the first thing they say? Well, Dak Prescott threw for 300-something yards, 300-something yards, 200-something yards that game. He threw 3 interceptions. He played bad as a quarterback, X, Y, and Z. You're putting the solely blame on Dak, but not once did you even highlight the fact that those passes were good passes. It's stuff like that.
Okay. All right. I mean, okay. All right. We're so far removed from Mike McCarthy now. What we know is Spoon to 10, Spoon to 10, Jay Tucker 5. I'm a 6.5. I changed it again, 6.5. And my guy owes it 7. Guys, it rained today. I can't help it. Sorry.
If Mike McCarthy costs us that game in Tampa, I'm gonna shove one of those frogs down his throat.
You just put Sprite in my nose. Oh my God! That was Sprite in my nose. Damn man. But with that being said, let's get to this last segment. Jesus, we're gonna be here all night. Last segment. So man, we've been dealing with a particular moniker, right? A particular moniker since we drafted Taco Charlton, ladies and gentlemen. And whenever Taco Charlton got here, the moniker turned into this thing of the hot boys, right? The hot boys. And, it was this weird thing. D-line was in it. And you had to do so much on the field to get in there. And, we were kind of Brandon versus brand. And then, did you watch the Niners scoop up the hot boys name and go to the Super Bowl with it? They just took it and ran the Super Bowl with it. There was some beef on there, from the gate. I never liked the hot boys at all because for me, I'm old. That's a rap group down there in New Orleans, if you will. All right.
So like I was saying on Twitter, if anyone deserved to be a hot boy, it's our
Boss Man Fat. Yeah, I mean, he from there. Yeah, Boss. Yeah. Oh, easy money. Oh, get that easy money out of here. Yeah. You're going to get claimed. You're going to get claimed by playing that. You're going to get claimed for playing that. You're going to get claimed for playing that, okay?
Hot boy.
Damn good. Yeah, man. Hey, man, it rained today. I can't help it. I got this thing back here. But with that being said, though, this Hot Boys moniker's been around here for way too long. Since the Hot Boys moniker showed up, we ain't never stopped that gun run.
Right.
Not never. What's going on, Shane? Shane's in the building. A little late, but we appreciate you, brother. So, we've been talking about this. Boy, we got these picks, right? It's time to change the Hot Boys. It's time to get rid of the Hot. Yeah, there it is, the Hot Boys. Yeah, man, let's get the Spoon. I know you got a Hot Boys hat laying around. I used to wear it on the shows and whatnot years ago. Whatever. I don't know where it is. I mean, burn it.
Let it burn.
But what it should be with these guys, the Parsons and the Boss Man Fats of the world and whatnot.
How about the
Now Boys? How about C-Ball Get Ball?
Now Boys?
Yeah, how about C-Ball Get Ball? Waterboy top ish.
How about that new Star Gang logo? Check that out, man.
Yeah, check out that new Star Gang logo. Get the CF logo in the building. We got the other Star Gang brand new logo as well up top in all the social medias. But how about get the Hot Boys out of here? Let's get to the Now Boys. Can we now stop the run? Can we now pass? Can we now possibly get a top 10 defense? Can we now not be a joke on defense? Can we now not talk about easy money when people were running us like Baltimore last year? Can we, as my guy Parsons said, see ball, get ball? Can we move forward with the Now Boys? Get the Hot Boys shit out of here. Man, let's rock with the Now Boys. Let's be great. Let's be positive on that standpoint, guys.
Right. Yeah. I agree, man. It's been long enough. Like, it's been long enough for the Dallas Cowboys had that defense. Like, we can just lean on that defense, a dependable defense that we can lean on. Now, granted, we still have a lot of question marks, but like I've been saying, we have the possibility for these guys that we brought in this draft to have a Dak Zeke like impact defensively. So I'm all for it, man. And it starts now we're just starting with this rookie camp. So let's get it, bro. Let's get it. So no easy money.
No easy money. Like let's get the easy money takes out of here. I saw somebody said 2018. We kind of, man, we had no dominant defense since forget 2018. Right. I'm not even 2018, bro. Like low key. I'm just not trying to hear. I mean, Doomsday is great. These young cats want to do their own thing. Yeah, Mo. I mean, we're gonna make it happen. But let's be now. Let's be in the moment. Let's go attack this thing right now and stop what's going on, man. You know what I mean? I just, bro.
Guys. There's no disrespect to the old logo, the Hot Boys, but here's the thing: the 49ers came out, they got the logo, whatever. The Cowboys defense didn't play for it the right way. They got it. With the Now Boys, we have a new set of pack of wolves that has joined this defense with the old vest that we know they're going to be there. It's about right now, and it's time right now that this defense getting these guys asses and keep the Hot Boys. We're the Now Boys. It's going on right now, and this is all about.
The boy said the No Boys is kind of corny. No hate. Well, we didn't say the No Boys. We said the.
Yeah, I don't.
See, here's what I like. Here's why I like.
You don't know, now you know.
Now you know.
Here's what I like about it. Like when players get drafted by the Cowboys, they talk about the history. It's irrelevant. It is. Like when we bring up 5 Super Bowls, blah, 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 fans are like, what have you done in the last 25 years? I don't care about that. Like, I mean, it's great and all. It's great to have your history, but I want my players to care about right now. Let's make a culture shift right now. Let's make a play right now. Let's win a game right now. Now Boys is pretty relevant in my opinion.
Right.
It's been 2 years. Yeah. I don't care about anything. I'm talking about right now, if you will. Right. Real question. Oh, hit it wrong. Oh, hold on, Bobby. I'm sorry. Up there. Let me make a. Do you think Jabril Cox is going to play a lot this season? I think there's going to, personally, I think there's going to be a lot of injuries in front. I think that for him to get help on special teams, I think on defense, and then next year I'm looking for him to. That's where I'm at right now. That's where my temperament is. Things can happen and that can change, but currently, pick that played 1 year at LSU. Questions about his tackling. Not that he's not a willing tackler. He just has to get better at tackling.
Right.
He great depth. He accountable when called on and help special teams. If he's able to do more than that, man, then so be it. Guys, Jabril Cox, hot button word. And look, this is real quick. Wait. Hold on, I'm gonna let you go. Wait. And real quick. Here's how we know Spoony and Jay Tuck, we wasn't off about the third. As much cap as we back and forth and everything else.
Right.
When they asked about those third round picks, they always ask first, fourth round. Funny how that a little bit. But with that being said, no. Matt, go. Oh,
sorry. It was breaking up. I just want to set the table real quick. When we say play a lot, we're talking about defensively, I'm assuming is what the question's about. And when we say play a lot, like what is a lot? Is that like more than 50% of the snaps? Like what does he want to know? Because I want to make sure I answer the right question, because that might be different for all 4 of us, what we consider a lot. Like for me, a lot would be like more than 40% of the snaps as a rookie, I'd say is a lot. I don't know if that's the same for you guys or not, but that's a lot. That means he's playing base and nickel to get a lot.
I think it's situational.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I just don't see him playing a lot. Like,
yeah. Okay. So if we're talking about like, is he going to start? No.
Right.
Is he going to play in situations? Yes. Is he going to play a lot? Like as in third downs every game? Yeah, possibly. Not every third down, but he'll play a lot of third downs. I'd say he plays like 25-30% of the snaps total. Maybe defensively is max where I think he'll play.
I mean, if I'm not breaking up, Warriors beat the Lakers. Does that mean something? I don't know.
They're doing the play-in. They're doing the play-in right now. The Lakers were a 7 seed, so they did not make the playoffs. That's what that means.
Don't they have another game though?
I don't know. I know they were the 7 seed playing the Warriors, who were the 10 seed, I believe. Chat, feel free to let us know.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. But with that being said,
Mavs game.
Yeah. Yeah. Magic gang. That's what's up.
Go Hawks,
Magic
by
gang.
the way.
Yeah. Magic. Orlando Magic. Looking for this draft. Whatever. Don't ear me, bro. Don't do me like that, cuz. But with that being said, the thing I was saying was, if I'm not breaking up anymore, was I find it funny. And here's how we know during the draft coverage when we were all on the third round, bro. We get asked more about Jabril Cox than we get asked about any of those third round picks, all three of them. So there's something to be had there. But Jabril Cox, as I was saying, special teams ace, right? Is what you're looking for. So some help on defense, and I look for him to walk through the door next year. Jabril Cox this year. What do you think, J Tuck?
Yeah, like I said, just like Professor O said, I don't think you're going to see him a lot, barring like unless there's injury, right? Oh, yeah, I forgot about my guy Nate Rosario, man. What's up, Nate? I don't think Jabril Cox is going to play a lot unless there's an injury. I think it's going to be situational. You'll see him in nickel packages and also special teams. So I think, like you said, Nick, you really won't see his full impact until next year. I know the hot topic button has been whether he's going to play safety or linebacker. I personally think he'll be considered a linebacker. I don't see him playing in safety. I think he'll be kind of that coverage linebacker that we kind of been speaking about all draft coverage. But he can play safety. I don't know why people think that he can't, because he has the intangibles to actually play a better safety than probably a linebacker, because he's not really good in the run game. So I think that what draws him to more of the safety position versus him being a linebacker. Right. Being a 3-down linebacker, because how effective is he really in the run? So, but he can cover the slot. He can do a little bit all in coverage. You already got the interception we talked about earlier. So, but I think you'll see him sparingly using situationals, but I don't expect to see him starting or having that type of impact.
If we end up going with a lot of big nickel, then maybe you see his snap count go up. It's kind of where I'm at. If we play big, again, we don't know if we're going to play big nickel or not. But I'm just saying it is in the repertoire of Dan Quinn. If he wants to do some big nickel stuff, it could happen there. Spoonie, Jabril Cox, big impact this year, or do you think it's next year? Or whatever. What do you think?
No, I think it's more next year. It can be this year, depending on what they do. If they make any moves on LVE or Jalen, which has been the talk of the offseason. Of course, then you would say, listen, if one or both are gone, then snap count would definitely go up. It's too early to say. I know there's been a lot of argument and disagreements between Cox playing safety, linebacker. It's a nip in the butt, because I know it's been going crazy with fans. Regardless, we got a very good play. I think in the steal of the draft, of the whole draft, and this kid will make a difference. I don't think.
Whoa! Spoon, stop. Rewind. You said steal of the entire draft?
Yeah,
for
I think
us
so.
or for every team.
Us.
Okay.
Yeah, because he definitely a second round play. They were saying something he could have been a late.
Hold on, Spoon. Let Stephen Jones tell it. He was a top 25 player for us.
Oh,
for everybody we got.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. He what I love about him the most is that from going from North Dakota State at 3 years, and you go right into LSU, a real top of the line school, and you become that team captain and doing the things that he was doing. That tells me that I feel confident this kid will grow. If tomorrow breaking news happen, LVE or Jalen Smith is traded, which I hope not. But if it goes down like that, I trust Jabril Cox to grow quickly in the NFL. So instead of us going,
he's the guy. Well, Spoon. He's the guy that we talked about. We talked about JOK and stuff like that. He's the future of the linebacker position. That's why I don't see him going back to safety. He's the future. He's what we think that the future of the linebacker core is going to be. Real quick, we got one more question here. We got one more.
This is like saying Tuck, he can play it. But like you said, I don't think he's going back to that.
Hawkins says next year, Neal or Wilson a contract. Actually, Wilson has one more year on his deal. He's in his third year. He signed a 4-year deal. So you have to worry about Wilson getting paid after next year. If they're going to bring Neal back long term, they'll have to get a deal done with him before the end of the season. If it gets to the end of the season, I think he's gone. Does anybody disagree with that? Are y'all kosher? Or what do y'all think?
Yeah, I think Neal won't be back, honestly, because based on what we spoke about earlier about the linebacker.
Cox, right? I mean, Cox kind of fits that, right?
Right. He's going to be that guy. So I don't think we'll sign him. Pay a player? And nah, he's gone. He don't pay.
Nano, I'll let you follow that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to follow that. I'll say there's like one of three scenarios for Neal. Is either he can play linebacker and show that he's that guy in the NFL and he's that Tevin Jenkins, not Tevin Jenkins, Tevin Smith, right? Is that yeah, he's that Tevin Smith type of mold that JOK type of mold that he can play linebacker legit in the NFL, and he'll get a big contract next season if he does that well.
Right.
Or he'll get injured again, and teams are going to say, that's 3 out of 5 years now. Like he's just not that guy we can't trust. Or he'll play kind of a hybrid role and play safety and linebacker kind of intermix. And then either way, he'll still get a big contract next year from somebody else. So I'd say all 3 scenarios, he's probably not re-signing in Dallas after this year.
I don't think Nolly's coming back.
You don't think who?
I don't think none of them will get a new contract unless
Brent Urban might, depending.
Yeah, I like the Urban. Like low-key.
No. Wilson,
I wish Urban would have got a 2-year deal, but neither here nor there. But go ahead.
Donovan Wilson. I don't think they're gonna get it. None of them will get a contract extension unless Donovan Wilson has a Pro Bowl lights out year and really impresses Dan Quinn. And it's sad because he's been held back. Wilson's been.
Well, Dan Quinn's about to unleash him, though. Spoon, come on now.
I don't feel confident. I feel confident in Wilson. I don't feel confident.
Okay, whoa, Spoon. So we're worried about what's going to be at safety currently.
Right.
We think that it's going to be Donovan at least as strong. That's what we believe. And you're saying after a year? I mean, you got to worry about Donovan next year, but you're saying like, bro, we're just going to have anything. That's where we're at.
No, I think that was going to happen. This is that Wilson will definitely walk off. I don't see Stephen Jones re-signing him. They'll draft. I think Israel Mumaku, if he plays well, will be the future guy they'll start off for him. It's scary. I see the same.
We're going to get that far down the daggum pipeline. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to get that far down the pipeline for sure. With that being said, guys, man, we've had a great night, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with us as always. If you have a question, now's the time to get it in. I'm going to spin it around so you can find out where you can follow everybody. Jay Tuck, go right ahead, sir.
Yeah, of course, man. You guys can find me on Twitter at JTuck151 and also on my YouTube channel, Cowboys Fans Only, CowboysFansOnly.com. I know I said I don't have new merch last weekend, but I got something cooking up this weekend. And then, of course, with my Star Gang family, man, on Wednesday nights and some other times, so turn that notification bell so you can stay updated with all Dallas Cowboys content.
The big facts. And with that being said, Professor O officially, Star Gang affiliate on the board. He's in the building. Missed the newest addition to the Star Gang podcast crew. Professor O, tell the people where they can find you, though.
You can find me on Star Gang on Twitter, but on Star Gang on YouTube. Twitter, you can find me at Professor O_NFL. I'm the guy that is starting the Fire Rowdy cancel.
You got to get it out there.
So,
and real quick, and lay that out for him real quick before we get out of here. Why are we canceling Rowdy?
So just full transparency, I was kidding. But the tweet is because the last Super Bowl we won is 1995. Rowdy was officially made our mascot in 1996, and we've won 0 Super Bowls since then. Kind of funny, we did not win a playoff game since Rowdy became our mascot until 2009, and coincidentally, or not coincidentally, Rowdy was absent that season. And then we finally won a playoff game. So Rowdy's bad luck. I need this guy gone. I don't care if you like him or not. He can be a part of the organization, but he can't be our official mascot. And then real quick, Patriots fans will appreciate this, and I'm sure NFL fans in general will. A fan actually told Robert Kraft before training camp one year, Kraft was riding on a golf cart, and he said, "Hey, Robert, can we change our mascot's number? He wears number 0. We've won 0 Super Bowls. It's just bad luck." And Kraft points at him and says, "That's a good point." And changes this number, and they won the Super Bowl that year, their first ever Super Bowl. So I'm just saying, I don't know if it's luck. I don't know. I'm just putting it out in the atmosphere.
Hey, man, whatever it takes. Cancel Rowdy, hashtag.
So basically make Rowdy number 6 or fire him. Either way, I don't care which one you do, but he can't stay.
Yeah, man. I mean, what do we got to do to get Rowdy up out of here? Or put number 6 on him.
Either one, whatever. I don't care. Either one.
We got to change something. See,
change the mascot culture. That's what I need. Change the mascot culture in Dallas.
Yeah, change that culture. Look, we thought it was Jimmy Johnson not being in the Ring of Honor, but low key, it was a dadgum Rowdy.
Freaking mascot.
Dadgum Rowdy. But Spoony, tell me where to find you on Twitter, man.
Oh, you can find me at Spoonie881 on Twitter, right here at home at Star Game Podcast with these great guys, and Miss Mariella when she returns from the stuff she's going through. Listen, I just want to say thank you guys. It's all Star Game affiliates here in the panel. We reached 5,000. over 5,000 so far.
Yeah, we had that 5K. Yeah.
Listen, I recall a couple of years ago when we started this, it was only 150 members, and we appreciate you guys come on every time we get on. And I'm gonna leave this little spicy for y'all right here. I have a feeling a move will be made.
Ooh.
A move will be made that we least expected right before the day of the training camp when the veterans come in. I have this feeling. I gotta say.
Are we talking about big cut, signing a trade, or
Yeah.
Add on to the team. I think a trade will. I feel my hands are sweaty. And
hands are sweaty.
When I gave out fish, I was they're gonna make a move. I have a feeling a move will be made. A trade will be made. I have a feeling.
Hey man, okay. I mean, we'll see. And look, that was actually what we were talking about. Maybe a particular player that could be moved today. Matt O brought up the Mike McCarthy thing. I said, well, you know what? Let's swap it out. We'll throw the Mike McCarthy. We'll get to a trade a little bit later. It's a little spicy. Some guys that can be there, and we'll get to that. Right. With that being said, though, man, Star Game Podcast on YouTube, man. Sub to the channel. Hit the notification button. As Spoonie just alluded to, man, less than 3 years ago, we started. Or we're on the cusp, I should say, right at 3 years. We started with 150 people. Man, we were over 5K in the group. 2K following the page. Man, come join the group. Man, go like them and follow the page. And man, on YouTube, _guy_Nix NIX. I am less than 100 people away from 1,000 followers. By all means, come through. And no matter what, CFO is only or Star Game Podcast on YouTube. Man, you got to hit that bell. You never know we're going to show up. You never know.
Before we go,
yeah. We got a question. I got you. We got a question on the back end. Go ahead, though. No, go ahead. Right. I got you.
Let's just go ahead and share. Let's let it run.
Cowboys Nation, it's Kelvin Joseph. I can't wait for the season to get started. Be sure you check out J Tuck. Subscribe to his channel. Keep shining. The sky's the limit. You know the vibe. Stop playing.
Hey, Hobbs, stop.
Boss man.
Hey, no. Run that back again. No. Run that boss man back again.
You guys know the vibes, man.
No. Run that.
That's by far my favorite pick of the draft. You guys know the vibes, man.
I know the vibes.
Tuck was on boss man from day one.
How was lunch?
Let's run again.
Cowboys Nation, it's Kelvin Joseph. I can't wait for the season to get started. Be sure you check out J Tuck. Subscribe to his channel. Keep shining. The sky's the limit. You know the vibe. Stop playing.
You know the vibes.
That was my CB1. That was my CB1, bro. Day one. Y'all knew it.
Hey, chat. If you want J Tuck to have a Boss Man T-shirt or hoodie, put it in the chat so we know.
Shouts out to Boss Man. Shouts out to my guy Boss Man. So we're all in. Like I said, y'all know the vibes, man. Once they become a Dallas Cowboys player, this guy back there hated the pick, man. But hey, but once he read that star, man, it is what it is. Let's roll. Let's lock and load. So shouts out to my man, Boss Man Fat. Let's get it. You know the vibes.
Yeah, you know the vibes, man. Let's get it, man. Yeah. And low key, man. This is what we do for y'all, man. Without y'all, there's no us.
Yeah,
thanks. Keep it a buck, and we do this for y'all, man. We are the people's champ of creator content, right? That's what we do here, man. We do it with y'all. We like to interact with y'all. We got some things on the back end that we're working on. You see, we add people into the groups at different times where we're doing these shows and whatnot. And we got more of that stuff coming, man. We got some more giveaways coming. We got some other things happening and whatnot. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, we appreciate everybody that are rocking with us. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But that's everybody said him with that fire. Mendoza said nice. White was like, oh, he was crazy with it. The boy Bobby said,
me and CB1, we being cool, man. We being cool.
See, this show has a little bit of everything, though. You have Spoonie, who's Mr. Optimist. You have me, who's Mr. Analytics, and then you have Tuck, Nix, and Mary, who are a little bit in the middle.
Crazy.
A little bit of everything.
I just try to keep everybody. I try to keep everybody on kill. I just hey, let's keep everybody on kill. Ron gonna say, man, congrats to Professor O officially on the show. You know, his Kush. Man, I appreciate you, brother. But you've been rocking this for a long time.
We're about to get Professor O a job at PFF, man. I'm about to.
Man, we're gonna have to.
I'm surprised they haven't hired me yet. I'm like,
hold on.
Wait.
My guy Mo said I haven't heard me just saying him score tonight. Let's keep
it
okay. Look, let's keep it unequivocally. Let's keep it a buck. Boss Man Fed. fucking with
Spoonie,
CFO.
go ahead. What's your phrase? Go ahead and hit
Oh,
it.
you already know.
What's that?
At the
At
end,
the end of the day.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
At
the end of the day. Yeah.
Hey, Bobby, I'm on my best behavior right now.
Yeah.
Best behavior right now. Best behavior until the season starts.
Fair enough. Oh, Ron Hopkins, real quick. We'll get out here on this one.
Ooh,
Gilmore after June 1st.
The sweat, right, Ryan? The sweat in the hands.
The sweat in the hands.
The sweat. I get it.
The sweat in the hands. With that being said, man, we appreciate y'all as always. Keep them bells turned on. We might bounce back something this weekend. It's right into the weekend. You already know what it is. Every Wednesday, you're going to hear Rocking Live at 8 p.m. Central, all the way till regular season. We get to Tuesdays. And, man, get in the group and come mess with us on Twitter. Man, I'm less than 100 people away on Twitter, man. Your _guy_Nicks for 1,000. Appreciate y'all as always. Y'all have a great night.